Hi everybody, thank you for watching this video. Okay, so have a little bit more energy now. Um, so this video is called Keystone Habits, and this is a really crucial step to creating the life that you would like to move into. So instead of going around in the same circles and doing the same habits and having the same behaviors, you can change the way that you work in your life, okay, by having keystone habits. Now, what is a keystone habit? A keystone habit is a habit that when you change that particular habit, it transforms your entire life. Okay, now maybe not one habit will do that, but I say pick 3 to begin with. So you have lots of things that you do throughout your day. And what we tend to do is say, okay, that needs to change, that needs to change, that needs to change, that needs to change. But we're not focusing on the keystone habits that actually, if we just worked on these 3, or 1 even, start with 1, 2, or 3 habits would completely transform our entire lives. Now, I think I've talked a little bit about this and behaviors and beliefs. There is a lot of things that you can do to, transform your life. But this is something that you can put into your life and implement right away that will change your life. So instead of working on everything, work on one thing, 1 to 3 things. For instance, me, which I've talked about a lot about what my habits are and like what I have done to completely transform my life. I have about 3 things that if these 3 things go out of alignment, nothing works out. It just is like the dominoes, just they just all fall when I don't practice my 3 keystone habits. So what I found in knowing myself and knowing my life and how I operate, if I do these 3 things, my life just works out well. I do well with my work. I do well with my kids. I do well with everything in my life. Actually, there's 4 that I do all the time that make my life very balanced. But let's just start with the 3, okay? And then what you do to incorporate these habits into your life is you just make sure that you're doing these 3 things no matter what, and watch how your life transforms. So instead of changing your whole life and doing this, 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 and this, find out what it is that you need personally for yourself to feel really good and to be at your very best. So for me, my first keystone habit is exercise. So when I don't exercise, everything falls apart. For me personally, everyone's not like this. Some people have to exercise some. I would think that everyone needs to exercise, somewhat. But some people need to exercise even more. And if they don't exercise, their whole mood, mental state, and energy level goes down. So that's how I am. If I don't exercise consistently all the time, my whole life goes out of whack. So if you're one of those types of people, and even if you're not, if you're going through a spiritual awakening and you have all these spiritual energies moving through your body and they're not flowing, it's because you need to exercise. It's because you need to get out and walk. You need to, climb a mountain. You need to just run, do yoga, get this energy moving through your body. So exercise is key for anyone, but sometimes it can affect some more than others, like me. It affects me so badly. when I don't consistently exercise all the time. So I make it a priority, and that's what a keystone habit is. It's a priority that no matter what, you are going to follow it diligently all the time. Now, for implementing keystone habits, it's extremely important that you practice it to make it a routine, a habit. And in order to do that, you have to be very precise and exact as to when you are going to, say, exercise. So for your brain to be able to take in a new habit, you want to do things at the same time every day. So, there is a little leeway with this. Okay, there's a little bit of like space around this where you can, for instance, I run for 4 times a week, no matter what, sometimes 5. And it does depend on like my morning schedule. I always want to run in the morning. I realize I can't run in the evening. So what I do is I make sure to run in the morning times. Now the exact time kind of goes up and down depending upon, if I'm taking my daughter to daycare that day or what. But I like to space it out. So if I run 4 times a week or 5 times a week, sometimes I'll run twice in a row, or sometimes I'll put a space between, like I'll run one day and do yoga the next day and run the next day. So I change it up. But what I consistently do is I make sure I run around the same time every single morning, and that becomes a keystone habit for me. So it's really important to make sure you're doing it at the same time every day. That's how your brain becomes imprinted with the habit. If you're running in the morning one day and then you're running in the evening another day, and then your schedule gets all messed up, and then you don't, it's just easier to stay consistent with things, especially with your keystone habits, because then you'll see the life changes start to grow, and you'll get stronger and healthier, and everything just works out. So with these 3 things, make sure you are doing them at about the same time all the time. And it's not like just doing it every single day the same way every single time. You can switch up where you run. You can, take a day in between and do something else. So it's, there's a little bit of space. Like I said, it's all about balance. And that's what we're learning as we're growing spiritually. We're learning how to balance things, not being too rigid, and then, not being too soft or lazy to where we don't do anything at all, but but having a schedule and a consistency in your day will help uplift you. If you're having trouble with your spiritual awakening right now, and you're having a difficult time with emotional stress, the dark night of the soul, emotions that just will not leave, and just you're going around and around in negative thinking, then exercise is going to help you. Okay, exercise helps, mentally ill people when they go to, the mental hospital. Exercise will bring them out of a lot of their symptoms down, because exercise gets you moving. It gets those things flowing. If there's blockages in your energy centers, in your chakras, it gets those blockages to move outwards and start, moving. So, okay, keystone habits are, if you do these 3 things, your whole life changes. So you don't have to worry about, oh, I got to do this. I got to change my whole life. So I got to change everything in my life. I've got to do this. Your mind just gets overwhelmed. So exercise is going to make everything flow. You'll make better decisions. You'll know, what to do, and you'll just be resilient. Your immune system will grow, everything. Exercise. My keystone habit number 2 is my diet. Okay. If I go off track with my diet, everything falls apart. I have to consistently eat a certain way in order to feel good every day. Now, it doesn't mean like so rigid that I eat the same exact thing every day. I switch it up. So I usually eat fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds every single day. But I switch those up and I make different things with them, but I always eat at the same time every day. So in the morning, I'll eat about 11 o'clock, my huge smoothie, and then, which is like a lot of fruit, a lot, because that carries me through until about 3 or 4 when I eat my huge salad with a lot of different vegetables, and I switch those up. So it just depends. The consistency in this habit is that I always eat breakfast at around the same time. I always eat this huge salad around the same time. And my body's gotten used to that. My body can absorb that. I'm not eating unhealthy foods that are bringing down my mood and my energy levels. And with that consistent habit, I'm really able to move through my day. I know how I'm going to feel most of the time, and it just works. So diet. Finding those foods that work well for your body, and then eating those foods consistently at around the same time during the day. And that will become a habit in your life, and then you will be able to make better choices, feel better, everything. So these are my Keystone habits. Yours may be different. So third, sleep. Okay, sleep. So these are my 3. If I do these 3, everything works well. Like I said, I do my schedule for my work really well. Me and my kids, everything flows. So sleep. And this one I'm not so good at, okay? But I notice that when I am good at it, everything just works. You know, our minds go a million miles a minute, it seems like, and it's so hard sometimes to just rest and be in yourself and sleep. And so going to bed the same time every night, waking up at the same time every morning, not drinking any kind of like coffee or tea within about 4 hours before you try to go to sleep. When you're getting exercise during the day, you feel like you can go deeper into sleep and be more rested. So, like I said, this is a little bit more difficult for me, only because sometimes what I try to do is I try to work really late, you know, after the kids are all settled and stuff, and I'll try to work some more. But that's the Keystone habit that I have to, if I get better at, everything else in my whole life will work better. So see, it's pretty easy. All you need to do is choose a few habits that you will commit to and do those things consistently every single day, and then your whole life will transform. It's that simple. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye.